The true biography of Felix Manalo is a good, written and created by your humble servant, Jerry Cahelon. Just call me Tatang JC. Thank you very much. Before I proceed, my very dear brothers and sisters, friends, countrymen, and acquaintances, may you please don't forget to like, share my videos, and subscribe also to my YouTube channel so you can easily follow through on my next significant manifestations or testimonies. Thank you very much. Part 21 of the Biography of Felix Manalo is a good. The year 1953 was one of the important pages in the life of Sir Felix Y. Manalo and in the book of the cult and spurious Iglesia ni Cristo, INCorporation. Now, at the age of 67, this man, Sir Felix Y. Manalo, announced that his son, Mr. Eranio G. Manalo, was unanimously elected by his church directors as the heir of the overseer or bishop position in the cult society. He was assisted in this undertaking by Mr. Teofilon C. Ramos, who served as his right hand, and Mr. Cipriano Sandoval, who served as his left hand. Following this important event was the rebellion by members of the Hukbalahak or Hooks and the rise of socialism and communism ideology against the government of President Manuel Acuña Rojas and Elpidio Rivera Quirino. This development opened the opportunity for the creation of the secret armed goons for the cult Iglesia ni Cristo, INCorporation, who were reported as protectors per se of the cult society and material or worldly properties of Sir Felix Y. Manalo. With this event, in the year 1953, Sir Felix Y. Manalo improved his gaming skills in politics. He made every election in the Philippines a major source of financial support which would benefit and increase the power of his own cult and spurious church. Another important event which occurred in 1953 was the construction of more massive and luxurious cathedrals made of concrete and steel in many parts of central Luzon. These monstrous buildings brought a fresh image. In the eyes of the people, the church of Sir Felix appeared to be bright, enormous, and powerful. This appearance increased its notoriety and influence in government and Philippine society. Remembering also back to Miss Rosita Trillanes, who returned to the worship services and who then was immediately promoted as a deaconess in Manila by Sir Felix. She signed a testimonial retraction to refute all her accusations against Sir Felix, including her rape accusation. Another serious and popular incident which happened in the year 1953 was the defection and resignation of Mr. Teodoro Santiago from the cult and spurious Iglesia ni Cristo, INCorporation. The main reason for this was of him not chosen or elected as successor of Sir Felix Y. Manalo to be the bishop. He waited for the position for many years and became even more ambitious when he found out that Sir Felix Y. Manalo was suffering from ulcer and diabetes already. In short, Sir Felix sided and favored the churchmakers and ministers who were much younger than Mr. Teodoro in the church administration because they outclassed him in their outrageousness, much greedier in all of power, influence, and wealth possessed nowadays by the anomalous Iglesia ni Cristo, INCorporation. The result of the national voting or election was shocking to the endorsed per se politicians and the Liberal Party by the Church of Sir Felix, but unable to do anything about it except only to remain very silent. Therefore, Mr. Ramon F. Magsaysay of the Nacionalista Party from Zambales was elected as the President of the Philippines in this year 1953. To those who knew the truth about this outcome, this was no longer surprising to them because the true number of brethren in the spurious church of Sir Felix is little more than 85,000 members eligible to vote. This is contrary to what Sir Felix and accomplices in his cult society were saying, that they can give almost 2 million votes per se using the sacred block vote. The truth, just like I have said before in my previous episodes in this manifestation, this magical or inflated block vote is based mostly on the number of immediate members in the family of assigned ministers or church makers residing in the already constructed chapels. Sir Felix Y. Manalo simply superimposed the number of members to 7, 10, and up to 20 times of the original numbers. Accordingly, the overall number of members throughout the country will certainly reach to almost 2 million voters registered at the central office. This makes it, of course, so magical. Moreover, it can be said briefly that even all the true and real numbers of brethren by Sir Felix cast their votes in favor of any presidential candidate in the country. The said candidate will not win the election if majority of the public does not vote for that said candidate. However, Sir Felix is in any way and still absolutely a winner in this case because the defeated political candidates and party endorsed per se by the spurious Iglesia ni Cristo, INCorporation will simply remain silent about it, so as not to expose their stupidity and corruption in buying the vote or endorsement. It is very humiliating and serious moral damage to any defeated politician if the general public may know this truth, isn't it? Sir Felix, together with his directors, were not even troubled by this event. Instead, they were all happily celebrating the annual Thanksgiving on December 25 with the humongous amount of money and land properties donated by endorsed and yet defeated politicians. The coming of the year 1954 again became more abundant in treasures, power, and influence on the wholeness of the false Iglesia ni Cristo, INCorporation. At this time, no one in general public truly knows or understands about the benefits of Sir Felix out of these elections in the country other than the trusted allies in his church administration. One of those who were faithful to him is Mr. Teodoro Santiago, but now is already excommunicated. In an interview of him by a radio newscaster, he publicly confessed that Sir Felix Y. Manalo per se is impertinent, extravagant, vindictive, have real lust in flesh or sexuality, and an offensive person behind his benign character as a preacher of God. So, the government of President Ramon F. Magsaysay became heartily acceptable to the victims of lawlessness and hunger because he was able to calm down the grievances of many farmers to their landlords. He was able to improve the living conditions of many sectors in the Philippine society. There was a great development of peace and order in far-flung places up to the inner cities and almost to every corner of the country. In view of the treasures and gifts received by Sir Felix through the previous election, he continued the construction of additional cathedrals, many more chapels in the city of Manila and in the provinces of Baguio, Pampanga, Rizal, Bataan, Cavite, and Nueva Ecija. Moreover, an intense training being given to the inheritor, Mr. Eraño G. Manalo, for overseer or bishop position over all branches in the false church of Sir Felix Y. Manalo. He is also being given extensive education in various forms of evangelical works, crooked teachings, and twisted doctrines in the cult and spurious Iglesia ni Cristo, INCorporation. Sir Felix Y. Manalo is really molding him to his best. In order to fill and satisfy the mundane needs and flesh of Mr. Eraño G. Manalo, on January 17, 1955, he was agreed for and then married to a cousin, Miss Cristina Villanueva. Unfortunately, Sir Felix Y. Manalo's ailments caused by his ulcer and diabetes became very serious. Henceforth, on August 17, 1955, he was flown to America together with his son, Mr. Eraño G. Manalo, and personal caregiver, Mrs. Librada Enriquez. Together with other companions, they stayed in a hotel closer to Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore, Maryland. This made them at very close proximity from a modern hospital, so more often he was seen coming in and out from this place for treatment. However, Sir Felix's condition did not improve and instead worsening even with plentiful money and prayers were made available for him. Hence, on September 2, 1955, Sir Felix Y. Manalo decided and requested to be transferred to the Presbyterian Medical Center in New York City because he believed the experts and managing Protestants who were his rivals in faith before can surely make him better and heal as well. Just after a few days of health treatment, he made a big improvement from serious diabetic condition, and surgery was set immediately for his stomach ulcer. The overall team treatment given to Sir Felix Y. Manalo by his rival Protestants in faith during this time, and in just within less than a month, was very successful indeed. He then went back to the country strong and healthy. His arrival and return in Manila was greatly celebrated by his allies, especially by President Ramon F. Magsaysay, whom Sir Felix said he secretly per se endorsed him in the last election. This, he said, is contrary per se to the understanding of others outside his church organization. Therefore, this is another serious outrageousness and scam of Sir Felix Y. Manalo in politics. Nonetheless, President Ramon F. Magsaysay believed that Sir Felix supported him. Consequently, the wide influence and power of Sir Felix remained in the government and the general public. To my very dear brothers and sisters, friends, countrymen, and acquaintances, may you please stay tuned for the upcoming Part 22 of the biography of Sir Felix Manalo Isagun in my next presentation on the Internet of the Cyber World. Again, to my very dear brothers and sisters, friends, countrymen, and acquaintances, may you please don't forget to like, share my videos, and subscribe also to my YouTube channel so you can easily follow through on my next significant manifestations or testimonies. Thank you very much.